Winston Rodney OD, born 1st March 1945, better known by the stage name Burning Spear, is a Jamaican roots reggae singer-songwriter, vocalist, and musician. Burning Spear is a Rastafarian and one of the most influential and long-standing roots artists to emerge from the 1970s. He is known to many as the African teacher, the elder statesman of reggae, a cultural ambassador, a preacher, a rastaman. Winston Rodney was born in St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne, Jamaica. As a young man, he listened to the R&B, soul, and jazz music transmitted by the U.S. radio stations whose broadcasts reached Jamaica. Curtis Mayfield is cited by Rodney as a major U.S. musical influence along with James Brown. Rodney was deeply influenced as a young man by the views of the political activist Marcus Garvey, especially with regard to the exploration of the themes of Pan-Africanism and self-determination. Family life. Winston Rodney is married to Sonia Rodney. They met in 1975 at his concert in Queens, when Sonia was 15 years old and was already a single mother at the time. She found out about him through her sister, and so they became good friends. She said that Winston was shy and did not ask for anyone's attention. They were friends until she came of legal age. They had ups and downs, but that sincere friendship kept them going. As for children, there is no much information on the internet. The only available information says that Winston's son, Kevin Thompson, died of a brain tumor at the age of 35. Burning Spear wrote the song The Cure, affected by the way he lost his son. Philanthropic endeavors. Burning Spear has consistently given back to his community, especially in his hometown of St. Anne's Bay. Among the local institutions he supports are the St. Anne's Bay Primary School, where he once studied, the St. Anne's Bay Infirmary, and the Children's Ward at St. Anne's Bay Hospital. One of his notable contributions was sponsoring a special treat for the students of St. Anne's Bay Primary School. For Spear, it was essential to give back, especially because of his experiences growing up. Reflecting on this, he said, "When I was a young man, nobody was giving us anything. With the help of Sonia, I got involved even more with helping the needy." Spear also collaborates with Zazan, the charitable alias of Mytania Samuels, a colleague who is active in charity work in St. Anne and nearby Portmore in the parish of St. Catherine. Zazan runs a Jamaican-based charity called Spread the Love Move, which focuses on helping those in need. Career path. Winston was doing lots of things like cleaning clothes, laundering, as well as a one-time mechanic role. After that introductory period, and that was before he turned 24, he stopped working, and his thoughts were with music. He felt the music inside him and tried to identify that feeling within himself. The moment he realized what was in him, he was working on how to express himself. In 1969, when he was returning from everyday work, he came across Bob Marley, who was also from St. Anne, where the two of them discussed various issues, including religion and music, and that's where Bob Marley played perhaps a key role in Rodney's life. He said to Winston to go and visit Studio One, where works an excellent producer that goes by the name Coxsone Dodd. Rodney obeyed Bob, went to the studio, and the rest is history. Burning Spear was named after a military award given by Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of an independent Kenya. Winston, in a 2005 interview, that his music is non-political, that he does not want to have anything to do with politics, and mixing music with politics is blasphemy. But that is not exactly the case, not in that context. His music does not sing about the current political situation, but the axis of his music revolves around Marcus Garvey and what Marcus Garvey in his life did was both social and political. Winston wrote a song about the Jamaican hero and prophet Marcus Garvey, which became, if not his biggest hit, then one of the biggest hits on the self-titled album. Winston, Rupert Willington, and Delroy Hines released several singles for Dodd and 2 albums. Before their first recording with Ruby, Marcus Garvey was intended as an exclusive track for Ruby's Ocho Rios-based high-power sound system, but was released as a single, giving them an immediate hit, and was followed by Slavery Days. These recordings featured the backing band The Black Disciples, which included Earl Chinna Smith, Valentine Chin, Robbie Shakespeare, and Leroy Wallace. The group worked with Ruby on their 3rd album, Marcus Garvey, 1975, which was immediately successful and led to a deal with Island Records to give the album a wider release. Island remixed and altered the speed of some of the tracks, much to the annoyance of fans and the group, leading Rodney to set up his own Burning Music label for future releases where he would have full control. Although further releases followed on Island, including Garvey's Ghost, a dub version of the Marcus Garvey album, and Man in the Hills. In late 1976, Rodney split from both Ruby and group members Willington and Hines, and from that point on, used the name Burning Spear for himself alone. Dry and Heavy album followed in 1977, self-produced but still on Island, and with a sizable following by now in the United Kingdom. He performed in London that year with members of Aswad acting as his backing band for a sold-out show at the Rainbow Theatre, which was recorded and released as the album Live. Aswad also provided backing on his next studio album, Social Living, 1978, which also featured Sly Dunbar and Rico Rodriguez. A dub version of the album, Living Dub, 1979, was mixed by Sylvan Morris. His profile was raised further by an appearance in the film Rockers, performing Jah No Dead. In 1980, Rodney left Island Records and set up the Burning Music Production Company, which he signed to EMI, debuting on the label with Hail H.I.M., recorded at Marley's Tough Gong studio and co-produced by Aston Barrett. A Sylvan Morris dub version followed in the form of Living Dub Volume 2. In 1982, Rodney signed with Heartbeat Records, with a series of well-received albums following, including the 1985 Grammy-nominated album Resistance. He returned to Island in the early 1990s, releasing 2 albums before rejoining Heartbeat. This arrangement, in which Burning Music Productions delivered completed albums of music to EMI, Island, and Heartbeat Records for worldwide distribution, lasted for many years. When Heartbeat ceased releasing new material, Burning Music took matters into their own hands and began to release music solely through their own imprint. Albums released by Heartbeat through an agreement with Burning Music include The World Should Know, 1993, Rasta Business, 1995, Appointment with His Majesty, 1997, and the Grammy Award-winning Calling Rastafari, 1999, which was the last completed album to be solely pressed by an outside label. Burning Spear spent decades touring extensively, and several live albums have been issued including Burning Spear Live, Live in Paris, Live in South Africa, Live in Vermont, Peace and Love Live, Live at Montreux Jazz Festival. Touring the world time and time again, the band's live sound matured and grew more sophisticated, while remaining firmly rooted in reggae. Accents of free jazz, funk, and psychedelic music were increasingly in evidence. His 1999 album, Calling Rastafari, brought his first Grammy Award in 2000, a feat which he repeated with Jah Is Real in 2009. In 2000, Home to My Roots tour, he performed in Cape Town, South Africa, alongside other reggae icon Joseph Hill with Culture Band. In 2002, he and his wife, Sonia Rodney, who has produced a number of his albums, restarted Burning Music Records, giving him a greater degree of artistic control. Since the mid-1990s, he has been based in Queens in New York City. Burning Spear was awarded the Order of Distinction in the rank of officer on the 15th of October 2007. Since establishing their own label, Winston and Sonia Rodney have released nearly 40 singles, CDs, DVDs, and vinyl albums on the Burning Music imprint. Many of these albums have been deluxe editions of albums previously available on other labels and often include bonus tracks and DVD footage. In 2016, Rodney announced his retirement. He has 28 albums, 6 live albums, and 23 compilation albums. He is well known for songs like Live It Out, 1971, Get Ready, Creation Rebel, Call on You, What a Happy Day, Rocking Time, Marcus Garvey, Slavery Days, Swell-Headed, Resting Place, Children of Today, The Youth, Old Marcus Garvey, 1976, I and I Survive, 1976, The Lion, 1976, She's Mine, 1982, Jah Is My Driver, 1982, Marcus Garvey, 1987, Tell the Children, 1988, Great Men, 1990, Free the Whole Wide World, 1994, Never, 2006, and more. Rodney has been touring across the continent lately. Reggae music legend Burning Spear is set to make his South African return this year for the One People Africa tour at the Emperor's Palace, the Park, on October 19th. In July this year, Burning Spear announced that he will be performing in Zimbabwe and South Africa as part of his tour. Awards. Burning Spear has won 2 Grammy Awards for Best Reggae Album. One at the 42nd Grammy Awards in 2000 for Calling Rastafari, and one for 2009's Jah Is Real. He has been nominated for a total of 12 Grammy Awards. From a humble beginnings in St. Ann's Bay, St. Ann, Jamaica, with big dreams, to an international superstar and philanthropist, Rodney's journey is one of inspiration. With his music, charitable efforts, and connection to his roots, Rodney remains one of Jamaica's most treasured icons. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and stay tuned for more stories about influential figures.